Bum, bum. It's your boy Big Vern coming to you live from the App Stupid Studios on a frigid Tuesday morning here in the Midwest. Got a great show lined up for you today. Julio Jones, he retired over the weekend. We'll go ahead and talk about that. We'll also talk about the real problems in Memphis and what we think. Kevin Durant is slated to miss the playoffs. Does this affect his legacy? We'll get into that. Ja Morant, at this point, should Ja Morant file an injunction against the NBA for violating his right to bear arms? Juan Rivera, he is the general manager out in California. His wife is also on the board of the collective, and they are threatening to withhold money from the program if they don't get their way. Indiana is in the portal. They're getting a lot of shooters. Is Darian DeVries poised to make his detractors eat their words? These stories and many more when we come back from a quick rap album. It's your boy Big Vern. Drop. Bum ba bum. It's your boy Big Vern pumping another rap album. Will Smith, based on a true story, in stores now. Get it where you legally consume music, whether it be Apple Music, Google Play, or Spotify. My personal favorites is You Looking For Me. That's crazy. Bulletproof with Jack Ross, Hard Times featuring Tanya Taylor, Beautiful Scars with Big Sean. Tantrum is probably the song of the year. I'm not gonna hold you. Tantrum is on a whole nother level. That's Will rapping. Oh my God. And work of art is so deep. Will Smith, based on a true story, in stores now. Yeah, shout out to Will Smith doing this thing. It's a good LP. We digging it. It's your boy Big Vern coming to you live from the App Stupid Studios on a frigid Tuesday here in the Midwest. 31 degrees right now. Talking about the high today. It's supposed to be 51. So if you got to get your pets out, get them out early. And make sure that you get them back in where it's nice and warm. And thanks for rocking with us on this beautiful App Stupid Tuesday. Julio Jones, he retires from the NFL after 13 seasons. He's an all-pro. Again, all of his accomplishments. This dude is ridiculous. And really, if you don't know, Julio Jones is Atlanta. He is the city. And he announced it on his social media that he was retiring, saying, quote, "It's been a solid ride and a wild ride." And that's one thing that I didn't like. I really didn't like the social media thing. I thought that was Bush League. And at least he could have retired and made some sort of party out of it where people at the hot Atlanta spots, whether you was at the beautiful restaurant or somewhere in the SWAT, they would have had a going off party for one of their own. Because Atlanta, they really do support their own. And him being such a key figure of that city, I thought that was a missed opportunity. And that's just me. Like I said, that has nothing to do with Julio. I'm pretty sure he wanted to go ahead and do that. But at that time, it didn't seem like that was a thing. And so I got to thinking about Julio's career, and I said, is he a first ballot Hall of Fame wide receiver? And I went back and forth and I wrestled with it. And for me, that's going to be a no. I know he played 13 seasons, 914 catches, 13,703 yards, and 67 touchdowns. Not to mention, he's a 7-time Pro Bowler. Saying all of that, the hardware at the end of the day has to be the standard bearer in this conversation. And I know we don't want to go ahead and reduce everybody down to rings. However, this is a conversation where the rings would validate the talent. It really is. And he doesn't have a chip to his credit. Now he's got an NFC championship ring from the 2016 Super Bowl against the New England Patriots, but Julio should have had a chip. He should have had a chip. And the fact that he doesn't have a chip, it'll be hard to go ahead and say, hey, look, he's first ballot Hall of Fame. For all his accomplishments, for everything that he's done, that chip would have been the icing on the cake. So then it got me to thinking, is it going to be a larger conversation of having a ring over the money? Do you chip chase or do you just go for the bag? I don't know. I really don't. But I tell you what, we'll get more into it when we get back from a quick rap album that we pumping this month. It's your boy Big Vern. Drop the spot. It's your boy Big Vern coming to you live from the App Stupid Studios. New rap album out on the streets. Benny the Butch and 38 Special. Stabbed and Shot 2. In stores now. The deluxe edition. Get it where you legally consume music, whether it's Apple Music, Google Play, or Spotify. A couple of, the 1st of April is crazy. Throwaway Music 2, Who Really the King, Center Stage, Brick Specials, Jesus Arms, Bad Guy, and many more. Benny the Butch and 38 Special, Stabbed and Shot 2, in stores now. Yeah, shout out to 38 Special. Shout out to Benny the Butch. Like I said, I still listen to it. I thought it was dope. But when we last left off on the other side of the content, we were talking about Julio Jones being a first ballot Hall of Famer and how I just couldn't sign up for that. Now, make no mistake, against his draft class, he clearly was the cream of the crop. Randall Cobb, 630 catches, 7,624 yards, and 58 touchdowns. Torrey Smith, 319 catches, 5,141 yards, and 41 touchdowns. A.J. Green, 727 catches, 10,514 yards, and 70 TDs. Again, clearly you can see when it comes to the wide receivers, Julio Jones was the cream of the crop in his draft class. So I'm not going to sit here and act like Jones wasn't the best receiver that was out there on the field majority of the time. But again, the hardware has to count for something. None of the guys I mentioned, along with Julio, won the chip. So then it got me to really thinking about the follow-up. Did he stay in Atlanta too long? And the answer is undoubtedly yes. He stayed way too long. 10 years is way too long, from 2011 to 2020. After 2016, he should have been ring shopping. You've made enough money. Now you got to think about your legacy and where you sit in a conversation of pound for pound best wide receiver in the game. The fact that he sat in Atlanta and let his best years pass him by, that had to speak volumes to me. And that's why I couldn't put him as a first ballot Hall of Famer first time out the gate. I couldn't do it. He's a phenomenal talent. He's all pro. And I agree with every last accolade you want to give this guy. But when it comes to those rings, that's going to separate you. That's going to separate you. And that's going to put you in the record books. So that gives me my last question. Is he the best wide receiver to have never won a ring or a chip? I don't know. I have no idea. But if you needed more context to wide receivers that never won a chip, Randy Moss is in that conversation. Andre Johnson is in that conversation. Larry Fitzgerald is in that conversation. Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco, he's in that conversation. Jordy Nelson is in that conversation. Victor Cruz is in that conversation. Chris Carter is in that conversation. Steve Smith Sr. is in that conversation. Keenan Allen is also in that conversation of being a top talent, premier wide receiver, and they never won a chip. Now you can add Julio Jones to that list. But congratulations to Julio, because he, like I said, he lived out his dream. He got to do something that he dreamt of doing as a child, and he did it at the highest levels. So to his retirement, salute. And like I say, enjoy retirement. He might show up on a podcast. He might show up, like I said, on TV as some sort of analyst. But if he doesn't, and he just wants to go away, enjoy his money, his privacy, and his life, hey, salute to you, King. Do your thing. Thanks for the memories. This is Big Vern. Again, if you are listening to this pod, get in the comments. Let us know that we get it right. What did we leave out? This is Big Vern. We talk back. We'll be back.